boomer clear from Soflo. These guys pinging it back and forth. Chronic in the air. Did he get the flip reset? Yes, he did. He used it, but he gets stopped out and he dunks it back in. Xocion cannot keep him out. Is this? Wait a second. Is DFH Stadium floating in the air? Oh, all right. They're ready. Team Chronic versus Team Soflo. Soflo 3-0. The only undefeated member of the crew battle tournament. Well, I take that back. I think the only undefeated who's played more than one game. We have a few people who have played only one game, and they're winning. Soflo's going to slam in. Goal number 1 to show why he is unstoppable. We have a little bit of the storylines showing up in the standings right now because Extinguish, who has a positive game-winning record, is at the bottom of the standings because his teams overall lose while not using him in certain game types. So it's very interesting. I wonder if we're going to end up seeing that in the long term or if that's a little bit of an anomaly at the beginning of the season that will work its way out eventually. But now we got Team Chronic. Chronic picking Hydro right away as they're playing alongside Zath as they try and get their first, or at the very least Chronic's first win. He went down in his first crew battle ultimately by losing a 1v1 to LMC. I said this before, and I'm going to say it probably again every time that Chronic is in these games. Chronic should be able to borderline secure a win for his team if he A, goes try hard in the 1v1s, which you never know. Sometimes it's a bet whether or not he's going to go try hard in the 1v1s. But if he does go try hard, all his team needs to do is win any other game. A single other game, whether it's a 2s or 3s, and his team will win. Because he can just win the 1v1, and then in game 4 or game 5, pick 1v1 again. And I mean, maybe I'm just overshooting Chronic's ability in ones, but I feel like he's easily the highest ones main here out of anybody. And we've seen before, teams seem to lack 1v1 prowess. The biggest role that people are missing is never 2v2 and 3s. There's no such thing as a Rocket League player who like can't play 2s and 3s at a similar level to, you know, what they're normally used to. But ones is a whole nother world. So, if you're playing against Chronic, what you need to do is you need to win every game type but the ones. You need to win the 2s, you need to win the 3s, so that Chronic can't just beat you by winning 1v1 games. But right now, Chronic's going to try and beat you by winning 3v3 games since he puts a nice flick from midfield over 2 defenders to tie it back up 1-1. Chronic and Hydro, good buddies, as they were playing together on Chronic's stream yesterday. They are leaving this net wide open, though. Chronic in a little bit of a 50-50. This shot on the back wall. Zath with a monster whiff is going to make the shot available for Xocion. He wants to remake after, apparently. The server is bad. I don't know how these guys pings. Hydro's got 100, which is not great. Chronic, air dribble, flip reset. Off the back wall. Can he double tap it? No, nobody's there to try and finish it. I don't know if Hydro was under the net trying to push away some defenders or what, but nobody is there. Bad RL, I need to fix that command for bracket. I need to fix a lot of commands. Essentially, this is a crew battle. If you join the Discord, you can go to the standings and see essentially the bracket. But I will fix that command before the next time we stream. I promise. Yeah, so go to the Discord, join that, go to the crew battle tournament, and go to standings. and you'll see a link to every game that's been played and the current standings right now. The format and the way it's going to work is that these guys are going to play six-mans essentially. So if you don't know how six-mans works, as this long shot is eventually going to go in for Team Soflo, is these guys will queue up by themselves, and essentially teams of 3 will be formed, and they'll play in a different team every time they play. They're playing for themselves ultimately, and as they win matches, they'll rise in the leaderboard, just like in six-mans where you'll rise and potentially promote or demote. Here, we don't have any promotion or demotion. We're just trying to make top 6 to make the playoffs. The playoffs will be a single crew battle. Haven't decided whether or not it'll be best of 5 or best of 7 for $100. So that's what these guys are fighting for. Right now, pass up to Chronic as he tries to double touch it in, and he's not able to. This shot on the mark. Xocion and Team Soflo going to go up 4-1. Just leave now. Chronic's team is potentially forfeiting. I have nothing against that if that's what they want to do. I'll leave. I assume it'll be Chronic and Hydro playing the 2s, and Xocion and Soflo playing the 2s for their team. Nate is a new join. I think Nate is fairly high rated based on what I remember when he did essentially his rank check, but to be honest, I don't know exactly what it was. I thought I remember it being high. But you never know. Nate playing the only first player on the stream right now. It definitely helps to, I think, kind of be friends with your teammates if you want to get more games in. As Hydro and Chronic are going to set up an early goal as Hydro passes it off the backboard. Chronic down to Hydro. The team plays are obviously more apparent here. I think Chronic and Hydro have the benefit of getting a couple reps with each other before playing in this format. Nice musty from Chronic. It's going to find its way in. Chronic. Absolutely nasty play. Little pop-up to himself. More of a breezy, I guess, than a musty. Almost saved away, but it finds the back of the net. Chronic, open opportunity here. He's going to take a double touch to make it impossible to save. Chronic is absolutely one of the best players in the lobby, no doubt, as he once again proves that he's got what it takes. Soflo and Xocion need to find something and get going here. Right now, the mix of Chronic being able to score completely by himself and Hydro and Chronic working so well together is looking unstoppable in the first minute. But you never know. This ball rolling over to Chronic, trying to play it as slow as he possibly can. He's still in control. Going to start an air dribble here, taking it all the way from his own side of the field. Gets saved away, but still in a tough situation. Hydro can't find the second touch. As now Team Soflo in full control. No boost for Soflo, though. He needs to find a pass to Xocion, and he ends up putting it a little bit too far behind them, so Xocion has no choice but to pop it high. Chronic putting it off the backboard. Hydro doesn't look like he's anywhere close, though. He is going to let it come to the ground. This shot from Chronic, trying to set up to himself off the corner. Maybe didn't have enough boost, or just didn't set it up correctly. He will need to fully retreat. Soflo, so play to get it past Hydro. Chronic is there. Xocion, Soflo with a potential redirect. Up to Zos. Off the backboard, nowhere close. But the Team Orange will try and keep the pressure on. Chronic trying to initiate a dribble here. Single tap over Soflo. Xocion playing very patient, but his teammate had completely left him, so Chronic had no worries at all. Hydro off the backboard. This one should be cleared easily as Xocion booms it downfield. advantage to himself. Chronic starting the air dribble. You know he's going flip reset. Chronic in these situations. He absolutely has to. But he's not able to squeak it past. 3-0 halfway through the game. Team Chronic looking to tie the series back up. Couple fakes and slow plays from Team Soflo. Soflo, so hard to say his name, to take control, but not able to find it just yet. Chronic, quick play off the ceiling, uses his foot to come back down. Another flip reset will get stopped out. Hydro can't find the angle, and Xocion gets the win. If he can get up for this one, he might be able to put on the first goal of their 2v2 game, as Xocion brings it 3-1. Xocion slamming it to outside the box. Chronic is just setting them up. I was about to give Xocion crap for what felt like a handover, but Chronic slams it perfectly off the ceiling to be the easiest setup that Soflo's ever gotten to finish. And they bring themselves within one. Xocion, Roniki's the kickoff. But not to their dismay. Nice double touch potential from Soflo. Almost set that up perfectly. Chronic trying to get a little cooks or pinch action. Hydro's not fast enough to get around it. He tries to tap it over to Chronic. It works perfectly to get it past one, but Soflo is there. Soflo, flip reset, stopped early. Xocian's not going to be able to find the angle. Not with Hydro there. Chronic playing it slow, trying to initiate a dribble. Soflo trying to play it slow himself, but ends up just getting beat. Xocion over Hydro. Chronic on top of the ball at every opportunity. Minute left. Chronic and Hydro just need to hold on to this 1-goal lead. Another pinch attempt. This time it shoots straight down to the ground, and it's a wide open net. Hydro has to regret going for the Quicksilver pinch in this situation. His team did not need it, but he wanted to be sick. Instead, he sets up the easiest ground shot that Xocion could have asked for. So a couple almost own goals via mistakes by Chronic and Hydro to leave wide open opportunities. They didn't quite slap the goal in on their own, but they might as well have, the way they set it up so easily. Chronic goal line save. Hydro is going to take it out a dangerous way. Xocion trying to set it to himself off the ceiling, but with no boost. Not much he can do. 30 seconds left. Are we headed into an overtime? I would borderline think that Team Soflo is going to have to take this 2's game if they want to win the series. Watch. I'll just become a complete liar, and there will not be a single series all league where Chronic wins 2 1v1s, but it feels like that's just an eventuality. Nice clear from Chronic up the backboard. 2-on-1 situation for them. Nice recovery from Xocion to get back fast and actually erase that 2v1. Hydro's going to try and keep it up, but he can't quite get it to the wall. So we are headed to overtime. Chronic wins the kickoff. Xocian's going to slam it high. No one contesting as Hydro takes it away. These guys passing it back and forth, but Soflo slams it directly into Hydro. Xocion trying his best to clear it midfield. Long shot potential for Soflo. Soflo was able to steal the boost, but Hydro still gets there. Popping it up nice for Chronic. Long shot. Will it get saved? Yes. Full retreat from the blue team. But a pop is taken away at midfield. Chronic doesn't want to let them have an opportunity off the corner. Trying his best to get it over one, and he does. Soflo just tapping it high, trying to buy his team some time. Just pass out the midfield. Looked like it could have been shot. Chronic actually whiffed it, or maybe missed intentionally, because he does now have a much better opportunity. He's not going to be able to force it in on his own. Would like to see him look for Hydro in that situation off the wall. Hydro's challenge is missed, and Chronic is left completely in a 1v2. He's trying to pinch off the corner, which will do enough to keep it out for now. Oh, Chronic Soflo! Soflo absolutely should not have left that Rule 1. I cannot believe it. And he is going to get rewarded as his team goes up. You broke Rule 1. I can't believe he broke Rule 1 with Chronic. That seems like a no-brainer. If you're able to lock Chronic into a Rule 1 in this situation, it feels like you take it almost no matter what. But Soflo bailed out of it. And they got the win, 2-0. There he is. Like we expected. Nate is playing the ones for his team. We have yet to see Nate play in anything but the 3v3 earlier in this match. So I'm excited to see the debut in 1v1s against Chronic. Now, as we know, people debuting in 6-man's crew battle tournament have had some good luck against Chronic. LMC debuting for his first 1v1 on our stream was able to take Chronic down. Chronic was, by anybody's evaluation, very obviously playing loose and going for stuff we've never seen him go for before in that game. But still credit to LMC, who played amazing. I mean, we're not just saying that Chronic wasn't try hard. I mean, at the end of the day, Chronic immediately picked for the rematch in that matchup, and LMC forced the game to overtime. So he showed that he was more than capable to hang with Chronic at any moment. But I imagine we'll see a little bit less of a loosey-goosey Chronic now, as they're down 2-0, and a loss here would send his team packing. So I imagine we'll get a slightly more focused version of Chronic. Electing to switch to the Octane to play the 1v1s. He's playing in the Dominus for the 2s and 3s. This touch is light. Nate's going to be able to tap it away. The boost starvation might begin here. Nate's been doing a good job holding on to his boost as these two feel each other out, searching for the first goal. Chronic's going to play this one fast. LMC can't get there, but it's off the post. And I think, honestly, if that shot had been even one more degree online, Nate would have been there, but Nate just making a crucial mistake. Giving way too much space here as he's trying to pick up the pads. It's ultimately the reason why he gave so much space, but he was defending his back wall after that second boost grab as opposed to defending his net. And Chronic puts the boomer past him to go up 1-0. Chronic getting fancy on the dribble as he tries to pop it over Nate. Nate waiting patiently. Low boost situation for him. Chronic's got 100. Nice pinch from Nate. That might be straight in. Chronic does have all the boost, but not enough boost in the world is going to be able to get him back to this one. And Nate will tie it up 1-1. Nice patience from Nate. Chronic getting a little over-aggressive here, thinking he had an opportunity to take that ball away. Nate did well to stay on top of it and tie it back up 1-1. Big kickoff from Chronic. Looking like it'll work perfectly as he should be able to take control eventually here. Nate is trying to keep the pressure on, but here it is. This has to be the moment that Nate leaves. No, he doesn't, and he will likely get scored on because of it. I've watched a couple 1v1s before in my life. I may not be good at them, but I knew that was quite the risky play by Nate to not give some separation there in that low boost situation, and Chronic will go up 2-1. Chronic trying to pass that back into his own corner, assuredly so that he could grab boost and keep possession, but he missed on the boost flip. He's going to stay on top of this ball. Trying to pressure Nate. Nate trying to slow it down and initiate a dribble. Not a great first touch to get into that ball, so he ends up losing it into Chronic's car. Backflip from Nate. Both these two just waiting to see what's going to happen. Chronic waiting until the absolute last moment to get up to tap that one away. Now in control on his way to the net. Nice flick from him. It's powerful, and Nate can't get there. Nate leaving the window a little bit too open for a very precise Chronic. Once again, just swinging a little bit too wide. He's going to regret missing that mid boost. If he had grabbed that on the way back as he flipped past it, he wouldn't have needed to go all the way into the corner for 100. He might have been in net faster than he was. Chronic losing, but winning the kickoff. Nate going all the way in for the demo. Nate's going to slam the own goal on. Chronic elects to just box out Nate instead of giving the continuation touch. He wants Nate to be forced to own goal. Nate just went in a very dangerous play to grab the demo. Chronic's played a little bit safer. He's given himself a lead. I imagine we'll start seeing a little bit more loose play from Chronic. He seems to be doing best when he's having fun and going for crazy stuff. And now that he's given himself some cushion, we might see the ultimate dangerous Chronic. Nobody quite gains the kind of confidence that I think I've seen Kinsey get when he starts getting a little bit of a lead. Once he gets a lead, he turns into ultra Kinsey. Like, he just becomes unstoppable. Even more so than when he was tied or down. Just, I don't know. The man stops being able to miss as he goes for the most insane stuff. Takeoff goal attempt from Nate. Is no dice. Chronic taking control with full boost. He's taking it up the wall. He's going for the pinch. Oh, no way. Is that one headed in? No, it's not. Not off the ceiling. That was going to be its only opportunity. Nate, nice dribble here. A little bit of a breezy bump, but Chronic keeps it away. Ooh, that 100 boost spawning right as he drove away from that. I wonder if Nate thought he didn't have it. To be fair, I don't know if he needed the 100 boost. He did have 20 or so before that, and he still might have been able to power the ball as hard as he did. And it actually ended up working almost as a fake. The fact that Chronic needed to wait for that 100 boost for a moment made Nate think he could drive into the ball there for a second. And Chronic just took that opportunity to boom it. Boost is stolen from him again, but he might be able to put on a strong enough shot that Nate can't get there. Nate just barely gets there off the post. Chronic's going to be able to follow it up. I don't know what Nate was thinking. He did not have time to go grab more boost. He just barely got the save. He needed to get right... I mean, never mind. He was screwed no matter what. He essentially got back as fast as he could, but because he had to put it off the post, he went floating. So Chronic is going to end up winning this one. It took him a little bit to get going here, but up 7-1. I might just ever so dangerously call it right now with a minute left in favor of Chronic. You have to imagine that Team Chronic will be picking ones again. And I don't know if Team Nate or Team Soflo is going to put somebody else up against Chronic, or they're just going to try Nate. Chronic looking like he could put on a ninth. Yes, he will. The question is just how many goals will he score here in the last 30 seconds. You're the one scoring. I mean, yeah, but at some point you got to play some defense. All right. They're going to let the time run out. Team Chronic is going to take... I don't know why that was so funny. Chronic just slowly reversing, not letting him touch him. Team Chronic is going to take their first game. I have to imagine that Team Chronic's going to pick ones again. Oh, Zath says twos. That is a humongous mistake to not have is Zath saying twos, but not going to play him? He's going to send Chronic and Hydro back in for twos? Or does he want to do Chronic and Zath? We might see some twos. You never know. I tell you what, I know that Team Soflo is not going to pick ones. All right, twos it is. Chronic and Zath. Xocion versus Soflo. Believe it or not, folks, Zath says they should play twos. Seems to be sure that him and Chronic will be able to take them down. Maybe it's just because I'm a lover of 1v1s, but I just can't imagine that this would ever have a higher win rate than sending Chronic against any one of those three. But you know what? Sometimes not everybody wants to play 1v1s, and we can, cry ourselves to sleep. So we have a nice game still, though. Chronic and Zath trying to work this one out. As Team Soflo looks like they're going right back with Soflo and Xocion, which I'm pretty sure is who played the last 2v2. They have an opportunity to end it here. If not, they can just pick whatever game type they want again. They'll probably pick threes, I assume. If they don't win this one, then they likely won't want to pick twos again. And they definitely won't pick ones. I can guarantee it. I can't stress that enough. I'm sure everyone's like, hey, shut up about Chronic being good at ones, but sorry. It's just the case. Neither of these guys finding any great opportunities at the start of this game, as we're a minute and 20 in. Zath an opportunity to pass out to Chronic, but instead, the defender is there. Good 50 by Zath. It's going to set up Chronic in a nice situation. Chronic is lethal in these. Good air dribble from him. It's going to go in. Threatening the pound off the backboard. The defender needs to get up on the wall here. Soflo defending the wall, because if Chronic wants to, he can slam that off the backboard and double tap it in. Instead, he takes the air dribble, which means Soflo needs to play defense off the back wall. And he just carries it over him. Xocion's not able to get back in time. So great play from Chronic to secure their first goal in game number 4. I'm starting to think that these crew battles really lend themselves to game 5s. I mean, I know I'm calling it super early, as Chronic and Zath are literally just tied up, so maybe I'll get proved wrong. But I was thinking about this before, even before last game 5 happened. The way you just get to pick to your strengths in game 4, if you made it there, almost feels like it secures at least a game 5. Chronic gets past 1. His 50 goes high, soaring in the air. But Zath isn't able to turn anything out of it. Nice challenge from him. Ball's going to be coming off the corner. Soflo doesn't get to it right away. But the team in blue is going to wait and let him take control. Soflo trying to set up a solo play. This had no business going in the net, as the blue team just gives so much space all the way down the field. Soflo just unchallenged till outside the box, and Zath is trying to make a hard save off the wall. It's a good play, but I don't think the team in blue ever should have given that much space for Soflo to execute and go up 2-1. Chronic off the backboard to Zath. Easy buckets, as Chronic creates a great opportunity to tie it back up. Great job using that flip to get back down. Getting the outplay around 2. And all Zath needs to do is tap it in easy. Xocion, flip reset, has Zath on the back wall, gets it past 1, drops it over Chronic. Xocion getting the 3rd goal. Nice play from him. I don't think he got the flip reset, actually, so he wasn't even threatening the real flip reset. But he does it perfectly. He takes it under Zos and over Chronic to retake the lead. Soflo trying to get a nice 50-50, make it 4. This is a great decision here from Soflo to play this slow, not take the immediate power shot, but instead try and set it up so that he gets a nice 50-50 outside the net. So much harder to prevent that 50-50 from not heading in your direction if you're Chronic the defender. He did as best he could, but it is going to find its way into the net. Chronic wins the first kickoff after that goal, but with low boost The ball gets cleared away. Soflo dumping Zath on the backboard, trying to get around that ball. That was going to be a long shot if he was actually able to do it. Chronic chipping it up to midfield. Zos takes it away. Zath trying to set up the backboard. Boomer clear from Soflo. These guys pinging it back and forth. Chronic in the air. Did he get the flip reset? Yes, he did. He uses it, but he gets stopped out and he dunks it back in. Xocion cannot keep him out. Chronic is absolutely filthy. Chronic trying to set up a solo play again. This pinch is nice. Chronic drops it just in front of the net. Actually might have made it harder to score. At the end of the day, Zath might have been able to tap that ball in as it dropped on the other side of the net, but Chronic slowed it down and made it so it could clear it away. Long air dribble from Zath. Pinched out to the wall. Chronic's there first, trying his best to get it over the orange team, but he's not able to. This net almost open. Zath's able to stop out the first one, but the placement from Soflo. Soflo has been playing very well. There's a reason why Soflo has not lost a crew battle yet, and he is showing us that he is unstoppable. Great placement here on these opportunities. These windows to take these shots are not open for long, but he is placing his shots so well, taking advantage of every opportunity that teams are giving him. And his team is up 5-3, 47 seconds left. Chronic's going to take control on the dribble. He gets past one. He's got one left to beat. Not able to, though, and if Xocion had been ready, that would have actually been an easy counterattack as well. Obvious that when Chronic gets control, he's trying to do it alone. Double commit from the blue team. This ball's still in an advantageous position for them. Chronic trying his best to chip it out to midfield, but with 6 seconds left, that'll be it. Team Soflo looking like they will take it 3-1. I lied about the whole Game 5 thing, as Soflo continues to be unstoppable. There he is. Like we expected, Nate is playing the ones for his team. We have yet to see Nate play in anything but the 3v3 earlier in this match, so I'm excited to see the debut in 1v1s against Chronic. Now, as we know, people debuting in 6-man's crew battle tournament have had some good luck against Chronic. LMC debuting for his first 1v1 on our stream was able to take Chronic down. Chronic was, by anybody's evaluation, very obviously playing loose and going for stuff we've never seen him go for before in that game. But still credit to LMC, who played amazing. I mean, we're not just saying that Chronic wasn't try hard. I mean, at the end of the day, Chronic immediately picked for the rematch in that matchup, and LMC forced the game to overtime. So he showed that he was more than capable to hang with Chronic at any moment. But I imagine we'll see a little bit less of a loosey-goosey Chronic now, as they're down 2-0 in a loss here. Would send his team packing. So I imagine we'll get a slightly more focused version of Chronic. Electing to switch to the Octane to play the 1v1s. He's playing the Dominus for the 2s and 3s. His touch is light. Nate's going to be able to tap away. The boost starvation might begin here. Nate's been doing a good job holding on to his boost as these two feel each other out, searching for the first goal. Chronic's going to play this one fast. LMC can't get there, but it's off the post. And I think, honestly, if that shot had been even one more degree online, Nate would have been there, but Nate just making a crucial mistake. Giving way too much space here as he's trying to pick up the pass. It's ultimately the reason why he gave so much space, but he was defending his back wall after that second boost grab, as opposed to defending his net. Chronic puts the boomer past him to go up 1-0. does have all the boost, but not enough boost in the world is going to be able to get him back to this one. And Nate will tie it up 1-1. His patience from Nate. Chronic getting a little over-aggressive here, thinking he had an opportunity to take that ball away. He did well to stay on top of it and tie it back up 1-1. Big kickoff from Chronic. Looking like it'll work perfectly as he should be able to take control eventually here. Nate is trying to keep the pressure on, but here it is. This has to be the moment that Nate leaves. No, he doesn't, and he will likely get scored on because of it. I've watched a couple 1v1s before in my life. I may not be good at them, but I knew that that was quite the risky play by Nate to not give some separation there in that low boost situation, and Chronic will go up 2-1. Chronic trying to pass that back into his own corner, assuredly so that he could grab boost and keep possession, but he missed on the boost flip. He's going to stay on top of this ball. Trying to pressure Nate. Nate trying to slow it down and initiate a dribble. Not a great first touch to get into that ball, so he ends up losing it into Chronic's car. Backflip from Nate. Both these two just waiting to see what's going to happen. Chronic waiting until the absolute last moment to get up to tap that one away. Now in control on his way to the net. Nice flick from him. It's powerful, and Nate can't get there. Nate leaving the window a little bit too open for a very precise Chronic. Once again, just swinging a little bit too wide. He's going to regret missing that mid boost. If he had grabbed that on the way back as he flipped past it, he wouldn't have needed to go all the way into the corner for 100. He might have been in net faster than he was. Chronic losing, but winning the kickoff. Nate going all the way in for the demo. Nate's going to slam the own goal on. Chronic elects to just box out Nate instead of giving the continuation touch. He wants Nate to be forced to own goal. Nate just went in a very dangerous play to grab the demo. Chronic's played a little bit safer. He's given himself a lead. I imagine we'll start seeing a little bit more loose play from Chronic. He seems to be doing best when he's having fun and going for crazy stuff. And now that he's given himself some cushion, we might see the ultimate dangerous Chronic. Nobody quite gains the kind of confidence that I think I've seen Kinsey get when he starts getting a little bit of a lead. Once he gets a lead, he turns into ultra Kinsey. Like, he just becomes unstoppable. Even more so than when he was tied or down. Just, I don't know. The man stops being able to miss as he goes for the most insane stuff. Kickoff goal attempt from Nate. Is no dice. Chronic taking control with full boost. He's taking it up the wall. He's going for the pinch. Oh, no way. Is that one headed in? No, it's not. Not off the ceiling. That was going to be its only opportunity. Nate, nice dribble here. A little bit of a breezy bump, but Chronic keeps it away. Ooh, that 100 boost spawning right as he drove away from that. I wonder if Nate thought he didn't have it. To be fair, I don't know if he needed the 100 boost. He did have 20 or so before that, and he still might have been able to power the ball as hard as he did. And it actually ended up working almost as a fake. The fact that Chronic needed to wait for that 100 boost for a moment made Nate think he could drive into the ball there for a second. And Chronic just took that opportunity to boom it. Boost is stolen from him again, but he might be able to put on a strong enough shot that Nate can't get there. Nate just barely gets there off the post. Chronic's going to be able to follow it up. I don't know what Nate was thinking. He did not have time to go grab more boost. He just barely got the save. He needed to get right... I mean, never mind. He was screwed no matter what. He essentially got back as fast as he could, but because he had to put it off the post, he went floating. So Chronic is going to end up winning this one. It took him a little bit to get going here, but up 7-1. I might just ever so dangerously call it right now with a minute left in favor of Chronic. You have to imagine that Team Chronic will be picking ones again. And I don't know if Team Nate or Team Soflo is going to put somebody else up against Chronic, or they're just going to try Nate. Chronic looking like he could put on a 9th. Yes, he will. The question is just how many goals will he score here in the last 30 seconds. You're the one scoring. I mean, yeah, but at some point you got to play some defense. All right. They're going to let the time run out. Team Chronic is going to take... I don't know why that was so funny. Chronic just slowly reversing, not letting him touch him. Team Chronic is going to take their first game. I have to imagine that Team Chronic's going to pick ones again. Oh, Zath says twos. That is a humongous mistake to not have... Is Zath saying twos, but not gonna play him? He's gonna send Chronic and Hydro back in for twos, or does he want to do Chronic and Zath?